Hello there and welcome. My name's Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. Almost forgot my name there for a minute. Reverend Dr. Michael McMorrow. I'm the Senior Minister, Spiritual Director here at the Center for Spiritual Living in Granada Hills, California. This is your first time joining us, welcome. And if it's not your first time joining us, welcome. To those of you joining us online, those of you in the house, I'm delighted to have you with us here this evening. And want to thank our support staff. We got the Lindley brothers in the back on sound, and Mike C. is holding down the video feed tonight, so thanks to them. And our presider this evening is Deborah Fishburne, one of our new practitioners here at the center. So welcome. Let's get underway. So let's just take a deep conscious breath and release. And in that release, we're just allowing ourselves to center into this moment, into this eternal now moment, setting aside the worldly clamors, the concerns of the outside world, and claiming this moment, this time, this next hour for ourselves as we come together for our call to service, which we call lighting the flames of faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. Now, fundamental to this truth is the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this evening. So as Deborah lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light the fourth candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light the fifth candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light the sixth candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the seventh candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. The 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here in our sanctuary, within our online community, and of course, within our own hearts. And as Deborah lights the healing candle, please raise in prayer the people of Israel and Gaza, and any place on the planet where violence is happening. And please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. surrender, I surrender. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God.
As we come together this evening, let us go within. Let us quiet our minds and open our hearts as we recognize that there is only the one divine presence, expressing right here and right now. Expressing as everyone here in the sanctuary and everyone present watching online. We come together in our recognition of infinite divine life that is everywhere present. There is nowhere that God is not. It's all God and it's all good. We are whole, complete, and perfect just as we are, for God expresses as us, through us, and with us. I know that all illusions of separation dissolve away, and we join together in our unity with Spirit. I know that we come together tonight to commune in God's light, love, and joy. I realize that peace and calm are ours in this and every moment moving forward. I know and claim for us that we are open at the top, ready and willing to be filled with Spirit's voice and inspiration. I claim that this sacred meditation service unfolds in complete perfection and that we are all here by divine appointment. I'm so very grateful for this knowing. It is with a joy-filled heart that I release my word to the law, knowing it is done for the highest good of all concerned. And so we say together, and so it is. Amen. As a new practitioner, I get the opportunity to share with you, my beloved community, how Science of Mind, how this teaching has assisted me and aided me in my week. You know, some weeks I feel like I'm just floating along, floating in a serene stream. Everything going great. And other times, like this week in particular, I feel much more like I've jumped into the stormy seas of life. And as a practitioner, I try to be curious instead of furious when this happens. Yeah, isn't it? This is why we call what we do a practice and not a perfection. This week, I've observed myself being buffeted about by the outer conditions of the world, as I'm sure a lot of us have been. I experienced myself being pulled out of my at-one-ment, out of my place of faith and knowing that it is really all God. The parts we call good, the parts we call bad, the parts we love, the parts we hate, the parts we agree with, and especially the parts we disagree with. So looking for some comfort and enlightenment, I found this by Ernest Holmes. No mistakes have been made. None are being made. And none can be made. Everything necessary to the full and complete expression of the most boundless experience of joy is mine now. And I found that quote, and it really complemented another quote that I'd read earlier this week, which was less oying and more joying. When I allow my focus to be on condition, complaining about the condition, reacting to the condition, dealing with the condition, I experience myself in the land of upset, reaction, and separation. So how then do I practice releasing my attachment to these conditions without denying it? Because we never deny the condition. It's about reuniting with Spirit, with our at-one-ment, So more and more in the last couple of weeks, I've come to realize that I need more joy in my life and way less oi in my life. I made a commitment to myself to experience something that brings me joy several times a week. So the trick is to find the thing, person, place, experience that brings us these moments of pure joy. And it's not the things we think should bring us joy, but they're really just disguised as commitments or chores. But the things that make our heart light, our laughter flow, and our bodies light. The things that make us feel young and carefree and really connected to life. I said yes to my joy this week, and in those moments, everything is good. Everything is God. Everything is one. When I notice the oying returning, and it has, I have the opportunity to practice, yet again, my at-one-ment, to practice, yet again, my faith that it's all God and it's all good. This week, I'm so grateful that this teaching is a practice and not a perfection. So I will leave you with this affirmation for the week. I seek out joy and connection in all moments of my day. I choose joy, and joy opens my heart to the love that is ever present and available to me in all the moments of my day. And so it is. So we have some announcements for this week. We have practitioners available online at CSLGH.org for prayer support, or you can reach out to me after service for a 2-minute tune-up if you would so desire. Animal Kinship Group meets this Sunday, October 15th at 1 p.m. on Zoom. You can email Reverend Kathy for details. We would like volunteers to sign up to assist us at our booth at the Granada Hills Street Fair on Saturday, October 21st, and that goes from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. You can contact, there's a sign-up sheet in Sparks Hall, or you can contact Melissa to sign up. It looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm so excited I get to come this year. And then at the street fair, Reverend Kathy is going to do a blessing of the animals. So you can either bring a photo of your animal or your animal on leash, possibly even in a carrier if they're good with that. The blessing will happen at 12 p.m. and again, you can email Reverend Kathy for details. Our youth church meets in October on the 8th, the 22nd, and the 29th this month at 10:30 a.m. That's second service. You can contact Reverend Nicole for any info. And then most exciting, save the date. Our Fall Gratitude Festival is Saturday, November 4th. It is from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. It is a wonderful Mediterranean dinner. It is entertainment. It's dancing. It's music. It is joy-filled. Tickets are $45 until October 16th, or they're $65 at the door. You can call the office, and Melissa will take your ticket payment, and she will put your name on the list. And I hope you will all join us for that event. It is really, really joy-filled. It is so fun. And those are our announcements.
Right. Thank you. Let's give Deborah some love, shall we? Nicely done. So, I don't know, Miriam, if you showed up last week and the door was locked. My apologies if you were here. So, okay, well, the door was locked, so I'm falling on my sword here. And but anyway, it's great to have you all in the house this evening, and those of you joining us online as well. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on this week, isn't there? Yeah. Oy vey. More joy, less oi. And very clever. And then curious, not furious. So those are two nuggets for you to take away tonight. It's, it's tragic stuff, right? And the truth is that there are many places where the tragedy of war or armed conflict, of violence, still is happening. But there's something about, the Middle East, which is this, the cradle of three major religions who believe in one God, right? The same one God from three different perspectives. And it's, to me, to still have this turmoil after 2,000 years of conflict and still have it going on is as big a tragedy as the loss of life continues to be. And so rather than, the truth is that, where we are, so we don't have control over conditions, but we do have control over the power conditions have over us, right? So this is where our prayer work can lead us, if nothing else, to be grateful that in spite of what goes on within our government houses, we still live in a peaceful place. That, particularly in this community, we don't have to fear for our safety. We certainly don't have armed violence going on, because it's not just here, right? So in the 90s, it was Bosnia and in Ireland, in Northern Ireland. That's been going on for hundreds of years. And, finally, if the Irish can find a way to peaceful places, right, then, perhaps that's a mental equivalent of knowing that peace is available now for Ukraine, for Israel and Gaza, and even within our own government houses. Because, the truth is that however horrific these things are, within our own community, we have people who are I don't want to say fighting for their life, but certainly in ill health. We have some who are getting tests, trying to get some clarity around health issues. We have some who are preparing, to make their transition. We have some who are living with the uncertainty of knowing when they're going to return to work, even though the writer's strike has been, right? So I think really what that means is for those of us who are people of faith, it becomes even more important that we do our prayer work for ourselves and for others, and as Deborah was saying, without getting caught up in the story of these tragic things that are going on. Right? There's a place to take care of those things too, right? So you got the ballot box, stay informed, and all of those things, to be an ally when we're called to be. These two, there is an action, right? In fact, the only other person I've heard say this is Dr. Beckwith, when he talks about the omni-activity of spirit, right? So it's not just a mental thing, that there is an action component, which when you think about it, that's what love is. Love is the activity of spirit. And so even if it's marshaling, through meditation, through our prayer work, or just by simply, without playing let's pretend, knowing that there's a greater truth, longing to be revealed by means of all of these conflicts, this too is part of our practice. So the next couple of weeks will be interesting, right? As have the last few weeks. We live in interesting times. And it's not uncommon for people to say things like, well, what kind of God would let this happen, right? How could God let this be? How could, if there is a God, why is there so much evil in the world? So on and so forth. And those are legitimate questions. And even for people of faith, we can have our faith tested, particularly when it hits close to home, right? When it hits our health, our living situation, our kid moves to college across the country, whatever our concerns are, that all of these can tweak us a little bit with our faith. And so I found this poem by an Indian poet named Kabir, who was, I guess promoted would be the word, by Rabindranath Tagore, the famous Bengali poet who won the Nobel Prize in 1913, and a prolific writer in his own right. So he writes this poem, What Kind of God? What kind of God would he be? And so first, I'm sorry, it's a he. You can make the transition. All right, what kind of God would he be if he did not hear the bangles ring on an ant's wrist as they move the earth in their sweet dance? And what kind of God would he be if a leaf's prayer was not as precious to creation as the prayer his own Son sang from the glorious depth of his soul for us? And what kind of God would he be if the vote of millions in this world could sway him to change the divine law of love that speaks so clearly with compassion's elegant tongue, saying, eternally saying, all are forgiven. Moreover, dears, no one has ever been guilty. And what kind of God would he be if the vote of millions in this world could sway him to change the divine law of love that speaks so clearly with compassion's elegant tongue, saying, eternally saying, all are forgiven. Moreover, dears, no one has ever been guilty. So that's something to think about. So I'll leave you to ponder that as we move into our meditation. And maybe we could put a little air on. Is it just me? Is it warm in here, or is it just me? Just for a little bit. All right, so let's take a deep conscious breath and release. Bringing our full attention to the breath. As we check our seat, our posture, sitting erect but free of tension. And the belly, just simply rise and fall. Just letting it go. So in our class last night, a meditation teacher said, see if you can notice the inside of your tummy and the back of your spine with your breath. If that's not available, just see if you can notice sensation of the movement of your breath in the nostril and on the upper lip. And as you do that, you'll see the mind begins to still. As we focus on the breath, we may become aware of other sensations in the body. Possibly discomfort. We can take a deep breath. And then focusing on the exhale, often that will relieve that discomfort. So we work with the breath until we become comfortable with the discomfort. gently back into the room, staying with the breath. Imagine with me that flame of the divine at our heart center. That with each in-breath, we're fanning that flame. Fanning the flame of the divine within. So with each in-breath, it grows, this flame glows brighter in radiance. Brilliance. Staying with the breath, this flame now transforming into this beautiful, radiant ball of light. Fire of love itself, a light that illuminates rather than consumes, transforms rather than destroys. So with each in-breath, we feel it's expanding, contracting in the way you would inflate a balloon. And in that expansion, we feel our heart opening as well. Staying with the breath, allowing this ball of light now to expand beyond the body, beyond the torso, side to side, front to back, top to bottom, that we are sitting in this field of light, this field of love. There's an expansiveness in the heart. The head feels open at the top as we continue to experience this expansion with the breath, extending now beyond our reach, commingling with our friends here in the sanctuary, and connecting with the decades of meditation and prayer, that the energetic of that prayer and meditation for this faith community that's been in this location, in this sanctuary since '76. Connecting with that energetic as well, and the energetic of those joining us online presently, and knowing that spirit is not bound by time nor space, even those joining us later, that there is this one field of light and love, a field of mind. So in this open-heartedness, we are just allowing ourselves to feel ourselves in the body, feel the strength and flexibility in our body, and within that, this field, within this body of the energetic of light and love, that we are knowing that for our own body that there is an attunement and an alignment with the vibration of radiant good health, that we are knowing for our loved ones, either those whom we know intimately, those within our faith community who are facing seeming challenges within the body, that we are knowing with them and for them, that with each in-breath we are attuning with the energetic of light and love. Is vibrating now with the divine Om of light and love from the smallest aspects of our biology, from every particle, every atom, every molecule, every cell, every organ, every muscle, every bone, every sinew, the circulatory system, the respiratory system, that all of it now is functioning and activated by this divine energetic of light and love as it is aligning with the pattern, the indwelling pattern of perfection, that in this moment we fully realize the perfect function of our own body, and knowing this truth for others as well. For Bonnie, for Alex, for Wendy, for Janine and her daughter. Place the names of your own for yourselves or your loved ones. Taking a deep breath and releasing that. So we know for our mind that we are now open and receptive to a clarity of thought, a divine download that is accessing and capturing solutions to any seeming challenge or problem that may have presented itself through this day or through this week. That we know that the creative impulse of life itself is implanting within our consciousness, even now, new and dynamic ideas, creative ideas, sense of perspective, a way of seeing the world, a way of seeing our life in new and dynamic ways, where solutions are easily captured and demonstrated, that we attract to us all that is needed for the full and complete demonstration of these dynamic ideas. So knowing this truth, we take a deep breath and releasing that. And so finally, to the heart, in this open-hearted space now, we allow ourselves to feel an expression of self-appreciation, of just acknowledging where we are at today, how far we have come. And as we know this truth for ourselves, we are knowing this truth for others. That we are knowing that the heart of the Most High is infinite. It is that circle whose center is everywhere and circumference is nowhere. So it is encompassing all in this divine love, where all is forgiven, where all is celebrated as expressions, where all is celebrated as expressions of the Most High. That the creature acknowledges the Creator, and the Creator acknowledges the creature. that it is all one thing. So with an open heart now, we take a deep conscious breath and releasing these images, these cares, concerns, aspirations, inspirations, those things we've come here this evening, that we're releasing all of it, knowing that there is but one power, one presence, one source, one life, the creative impulse, intelligence itself, that is both impressing and expressing itself in, through, and as all of life is the wellspring of love, of intelligence, of creativity, that we are the individualized expression of the divine activity of the Most High. And so as we have aligned ourselves through this healing meditation this evening, we are knowing that for our fellows, that they too are aligned and attuning to their own understanding of how the Spirit works within their own life. That we are calling it forth now for ourselves and for our loved ones and for all. We feel a deep sense of gratitude, of knowing God is, I am. Deep sense of gratitude for being one in community, whether through the electronic media or here in the room. Gratitude for this faith community that makes all of this happen. Grateful for our brothers and sisters who have shown up to support us in this divine appointment. And so from this place of gratitude, we take one more deep breath and release this word. All of the images, releasing to that aspect of the mind of spirit that knows only to say, yes, my beloved, yes. In you I am well pleased. It is done. It is so. And together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. Well, right on the dot. So thank you for joining us here in the room. Thank you for joining us online as well. If this is your first time, I hope you'll hit this subscribe button. And if you hit that notification, you'll get a little alert when we come on live again at 10:25 this Sunday, where we're continuing to speak on paradox and how that works in our life. And I'm sure I'll have something interesting to say by then. And Teresa James is back with us today as Jason is supporting his kids at his school. So until then, know that you're loved, peace and blessings, and we'll see you next time.